Our next guest is a true Hollywood chameleon, celebrated for his incredible portrayals of real-life icons, including 3 unforgettable performances as Tony Blair.
Amazing. Michael Sheen is moving from biopics to books, bringing his distinctive Welsh voice, of course, to the much-anticipated conclusion of Philip Pullman's fantasy saga, The Book of Dust. It's lovely to have you here this morning.
Lovely to be here.
Let's start with this. Because I fell asleep to your dulcet tones last night.
Many people have.
Yeah. But that sounds like I was bored. I wasn't. It was just wonderful. You were chatting with Philip at the end of the audiobook for this. I can't believe it's come to a conclusion. This is genuinely the last one in a whole dark.
I said to Philip, surely there's going to be more, and he was like, no, I think this is it. Which is very sad. I mean, I'm just a fan of these books. I started reading his Dark Materials trilogy in the 90s, and it just sort of changed my life. It's one of the, when people say, what's your favourite story of all time? I mean, it's probably this.
Yeah.
So getting to do the audio versions of the second trilogy now, I mean, I've named my daughter Lyra after the main character in this.
Character.
When you kind of immerse yourself in this Pullman Bob, what is that like? How many days does it take? Do you have to talk to him and say, I'm thinking I'm going to do this voice a bit like this or a bit like that? Or
well, no, I don't talk to him about it, but it does take a lot of preparation.
I bet it does.
I mean, mainly so that, because, you do it for ages. Like, you read it, 7 hours a day for, like, weeks. And I forget what I've done for the characters.
Of course, yeah.
So if you do a character early on in the story and then you come back to it, a few days later, I'm like, what did I do? Or this, and also you run out of things to do. So eventually characters are just like, it's basically the same as that other character, but he's got a cold or slightly higher. In one of the books, there was a scene, because now when I read the books, I read in the books as a fan, but now I read the books like knowing that I'm going to have to do the audio version. So you come across a scene and I can't just enjoy it. I'm like, 4 Norwegians talking to each other. So I complained to Philip about this after we did the first one, and we did this event together, and I said, come on, 4 Norwegian academics. Don't do that to me again. Joking. Second book, come across the scene, 6 Welshmen on a ship. Yes! Thank you.
That you can deal with.
I can do that.
Amazing. That's the power you wield.
Although one of them had a cold. I can only do 5 Welsh voices.
But it must be magical as well, though, because these books are... Because your Lyra she's 6 now?
She's 6 now, yeah.
And have you introduced her to the first ones yet?
Well, she knows that there are books about Lyra. I mean, she's convinced they're about her.
Of course.
And it's essentially just a really elaborate way to get her to read them, eventually, because she knows that they're about her. But, I mean, Anna was pregnant with Lyra whilst I was doing the audiobook of the second one.
Right.
So I was doing it in New York at the time. And it just became clear, by the end of doing it, we were like, well, she's going to be called Lyra.
She's got to be a Lyra.
Yeah.
And in fact, I remember after Lyra was born, I was going down to our local supermarket in Ystrad, and Philip was being interviewed by Jo Wiley on the radio.
Oh, okay.
And I know Jo a little bit, and she knew that Lyra had been born. And I'm listening to the interview on the radio, and I'm driving into the car park to go and get milk or something. And Jo says, well, of course, this week, Michael Sheen has had a baby, and he's called, his baby Lyra. Oh. And I'm sitting in the car park, sitting there, and Philip says, well, welcome to the world, Lyra. Just sobbing in Ystrad car park.
Oh,
it's amazing what happens like that.
That's lovely. But strange things happen to you down at your local Tesco's, don't they? Wasn't there something else that happened as well? Strange things happen to you everywhere,
yeah.
actually.
Well, when I'm in the supermarket, it is a chance for people to say hello, which is lovely. But there was one time where I was, picking a packet of cereal or something, and I hear a voice behind me say, excuse me. I turn around to go, would you mind saying hello to my son? Lucian! Lucian, come here! The character I played in the Underworld. This is the man you're named after, Lucian. And then he had a tattoo, and I had to sign.
How old was Lucian?
I may be mistaken. No, I may be mixing this up. The husband had a tattoo. I had to sign the son's T-shirt or something. But there was this kid was looking at me like I have no idea
who's this weird man in the frozen food section.
Yeah.
But that's not the only time. I mean, we were talking as we came on air, and you were saying that you got mistaken. You've been recently working with in Alabama?
I've been mistaken for people. I was in Alabama last week filming for a documentary, and I was with a gentleman for an entire day. And it was only late in the afternoon I realised he thought I was Martin Sheen because he kept saying, "You play the president, right?" I said, "Well, no, I interviewed the president in Frost Nixon." "No, you play the president." "No, the prime minister." "No, you play the..." And then I was like, "Oh, West Wing. You think I'm Martin Sheen?" Which is lovely. I mean, Martin Sheen's amazing. But I've also been... I once had to... I almost got into a fist fight with someone in the gym when I lived in Los Angeles, who was convinced I was Simon Pegg. And when I said I wasn't, he was like, "Come on, Simon, what are you doing to me?" "Of course you are." "No, I'm not Simon Pegg." And I was chased down the street in LA once out of a restaurant, someone just shouting, "Gollum! Gollum! Gollum!" What do you do when someone's shouting Gollum at you?
And you're not Andy Serkis.
And I'm not Andy Serkis.
You're not Gollum.
My oldest daughter, Lily, when she was little, saw me in an airport, came running up to me, "Daddy, Daddy," and it was Andy Serkis. Even my child thought it was. My life as
It's like a Jerry Springer show waiting to happen, that is, Daddy,
this
Daddy.
feels like therapy now.
Well, I'm glad we can help. It's the most important thing. That you can help. Well, it's not unusual, though, because your dad was a lookalike. He was a Jack Nicholson lookalike.
He was, famously, many
years. So, look, that's an amazing...
That's a spitting image,
Oh,
isn't
my
it?
goodness. He loved it. I mean, you know, he had a go at The Voice.
Did he?
Well, he had a go. What I've always said is what he lacks in specificity, he made up for in commitment. He gave it 150%. But he loved it. He travelled all around the world.
Didn't he go on the radio pretending to actually be in one?
Well, no, he went to Germany for the premiere of Batman.
OK, the Jack Nicholson.
And when he got there, they said, "Oh, Jack was supposed to be here, but he hasn't been able to make it. You're going to be Jack for the weekend." So he actually did the whole thing and then was being interviewed on the radio. A lookalike. And the guy in between records went, "You are not Jack Nicholson, eh?" And my dad went, "Even better than the real thing." By Rick Sheen. He had a little card that said it.
Amazing.
He was such a character.
So in amongst all of this, how's your theatre company coming?
Great, yeah, Welsh National Theatre. We have our first production starting rehearsals in December.
You're in it?
I'm in all of it, because I don't have to pay myself. We open in Swansea on January the 16th with Our Town, and then we go to Llandudno, Mold, and then we come to the Rose Theatre in Kingston here.
Amazing.
And then about this time next year, we do Owain and Henry, which is a big new Welsh play about Owain Glyndŵr, which I'm in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that'll be at the Millennium Centre in Cardiff. So it's all happening. It's all very exciting.
You must be really quite proud of it, though, as well, to have created this.
Well, I'm excited, mainly, you know, and just fantastic that people are so supportive and people are really into it and really excited about it. So it's brilliant.
Do you have time for any of the other stuff that you were doing? Is it sort of the filming and...
Yeah. I mean, I try and fit it in. I've got to pay for it somehow, so I've got to do some filming. And like I say, I've been doing this documentary and I'll be doing that up until Christmas. And, you know, there's all... And then, you know, doing things like this, the audio book for this and getting to talk to Philip. It's so lovely. I have such amazing opportunities, you know.
We had your mate David Tennant on a few weeks ago.
Sorry, who?
Are we going to see the two of you together soon?
I hope so, yes. I mean, we're always looking for stuff to do. And there's a few possibilities, maybe, yeah. So hopefully soon.
It's just so nice to have you in the studio. To sheen something is a verb in my house.
Yes.
That means that you do it with every ounce of your being and you're honest and truthful, and that's it. To sheen it, to sheen something.
Lovely. Yeah, that's very nice.
What you lack in specificity, you make up for in commitment.
Sheening.
That's how I played football, Michael, as you well know.
As I well know.
You play football dirty, is how you play football.
Just with a lot of enthusiasm.
I think Cat is closer to the truth.
I would say.
Outrageous.
Thank you very much.
Outrageous.
The audiobook for Philip Pullman's The Book of Dust, The Rosefield, will be released this Thursday. Smashing to see you.
Thank you for coming, Michael.
Thank you.
Hello. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.